Good morning and welcome to another Tuesday tour. It's John Sauter and April Holeiter behind the camera from your Purdue Alumni Association, bringing you another session of Tuesday tour on campus. You're seeing this 2 days before John Purdue's birthday. We're in the core of campus. Beautiful University Hall, the oldest building on campus, is here. And so since we're 2 days before John Purdue's birthday, we thought we would feature John. And what better way to do that than to talk to the old boy himself. And we just happened to have John Purdue show up on campus this morning.
Mr. Sauter, good to see you this morning. Welcome to my university.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here with us today.
Very nice to be here. Very nice. Well, John, first of all, so many questions and so little time. Let's talk about what brought you to this part of the country in the first place.
Actually, I was born in central Pennsylvania in the mountains of absolute poverty. We joined a migration west into Ohio in the 1820s. My whole family did. We separated, went our own ways as adults. I started a dry goods store south of Columbus, and I brought in my prized pupil when I was teaching in a one-room schoolhouse, Moses Fowler. When they built the Wabash and Erie Canal, and I saw it was going through Lafayette, I saw enormous opportunity in that. And so I relocated to Lafayette because of the canal.
Okay, and the steamboats were going up and down the Wabash River?
Lafayette was ideally located. The steamboats could get reliably to Lafayette during the summer, and they did. They came from all over the country. And not only that, but when the steamboats went out, we got railroads here. And the railroads replaced the steamboats, and eventually I started doing my business in railroads, and I invested in railroads.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
But the other thing that benefits this community is my university.
Okay. So how did you actually accumulate your wealth? What actually brought you the wealth that allowed you to make the significant donation to the state?
I was into everything. I started in dry goods. From there I moved into buying farms. I didn't farm them. I didn't care for farming, but I liked agriculture products. I grew crops. I raised animals. During the Civil War, I spent most of my time in New York City selling pork to the Union Army. And I made a fortune through all of that. I invested in banking. I invested in railroads. I invested in many things. I built farm implement machinery at the end of my life.
Okay. And then you didn't marry. In fact, you started your own bank downtown, I understand.
Yes, we had a bank downtown. That bank is still in operation.
Okay.
I never did marry, no. I was a bachelor all my life. When women first applied to Purdue University, I was shocked. I didn't realize women were going to, I'd forgotten all about women, to tell you the truth, which is probably why I remained a bachelor all my life.
Okay. Maybe that had something to do with you having 8 sisters. Could that be a part of it?
I had 8 sisters who lived into adulthood, and one of them died in young adulthood. So there were 7 sisters left, and those sisters had children. I had many nieces and nephews. I took care of my sisters, and I took care of my nieces and nephews. And I was very interested in education for all of them, both the males and the females.
Okay. Well, you were born in 1802, so here we are, 217
yes,
years.
I'm 217 years old.
Not bad, not bad, not bad, sir.
I've held up pretty well.
I think you have. I think you have. And as you look around, we're now well over 2,000 acres at Purdue. What strikes you? What are you most proud of these days at Purdue?
It's an easy answer. I'm most proud of our students. Every time I get a chance to walk around this campus and talk to our students, I'm so impressed with how knowledgeable they are and how good they are and what wonderful people they are. This university, as we said, I was a bachelor. I had no children. People in the newspaper suggested that maybe I should give my money to the community for community projects, and they would put my name on it and I'd be remembered forever. I decided to build a university because I believe in the power of education. I really believed it, and I believe that no place needed education more than this place right here. And so the students of today are my project, and I'm very proud. You know, your name's on a university, you never go away. You can be part of the topic for all time.
I guess. In fact, the statue to the left here, it's only about 10 years that it's been here. I understand that they kind of had a hard time coming up with a likeness. There really weren't that many photos of you, and had to kind of come up with how much you weighed and how large you were.
Well, fortunately, there's a pair of my trousers at the Tippecanoe County Historical Association, and they measured those.
Perfect.
As John measured those too, and that gave them the height and the weight pretty much. Okay. And so they had a pretty good idea of what I look like. There are several portraits that are good. Some are still turning up. We just found one recently that no one had seen before, of me at a little younger age. But remember, photography was still fairly new at that time, and of course, President Lincoln had a number of photos of him, but I wasn't the President of the United States.
Okay.
So people took fewer photos of me.
Okay.
There are portraits.
All right. Well, I think our viewing audience might be interested in some of the myths surrounding you and the university and things that you actually had requested. So what was part of the gift of money and land to the state?
I really only had three that were requests, they were requirements.
Okay.
First of all, that the university be located somewhere in Tippecanoe County. Not any particular location in the county, but somewhere.
Okay.
Secondly, that the university be named for me in perpetuity, forever.
Okay.
And thirdly, that I be named to the Board of Trustees.
Okay. So buried on campus, that was not really one of the requirements.
I never really talked about where I wanted to be buried too much. I might have mentioned to someone once that it would be a good place for me. But you have to realize I was a very successful businessman. I never made a bad business decision in my life. And I thought I would never die. I died without a will.
Okay.
It was quite a surprise to me. On September 12th, 1876, when I did pass away in the city of Lafayette. And I spent the morning right here on campus.
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
the first day of classes in our third year.
Uh-huh.
And I did what I enjoy most even today, stopping and talking to the students, and telling them how I wish I had the opportunities
Okay.
that they had, because I didn't. I had very little formal education.
Okay. Well, then let's make sure I get this straight then. So you did not request all buildings to be made of red brick?
Absolutely not. Red brick was always available. If you look by building downtown, the Purdue block, red brick. Same red brick as in University Hall. University Hall, and then the other buildings here set the standard. Later on, they decided to continue building red brick.
Okay, well, we're setting the record straight here then. How about no buildings could be taller than University Hall?
Well, of course, University Hall was only a foundation in 1876 when I died. That was all that was there. And we do the measurements, what it would be. But no, I never had every requirement that all universities.
Okay. Well, let's try this one. How about, there'll be no music school at Purdue?
That's silly. I love music. I was known to contribute to churches very generously. One of the things I contributed to were organs and pianos. I love going to the Opera House in downtown Lafayette and listening to music. I went to see concerts in the Opera House in Indianapolis. I love music. If anyone, we started this as an agriculture and engineering campus, which was a requirement of the federal legislation. We had no thought of music. But as a matter of fact, there was a teacher here who taught piano to our students at the very beginning, so we did have a little bit of music. If anyone fought music, it was Edward Elliott, President Edward Elliott. When they came to him and said, we would like to spend a little money on music, he slammed his palm on the floor on his desk and said, "As long as I am president of the university, we will not spend one penny on music. Do you understand?"
Whoa.
And of course, in 1940, he was responsible for building a hall of music, which later on was named for him. And so today, President Edward Elliott is best known for a hall of music.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. And then lastly, how about is one of your requests that there be no teaching of Latin in the curriculum?
Actually, Latin was taught at the very beginning. It wasn't until 1883 that President Emerson White stopped Latin when our Latin teacher, Annie Peck, left to go mountain climbing. And he just didn't feel that Latin fit in with agriculture and engineering, which were, of course, our main subjects, and so he canceled it. But later on, it was picked up once again.
Okay.
Latin was never the major reason for this university. Many universities, Harvard's, Princeton's, Yale's out the East Coast, focused on dead languages, but this university was focused on practical things. One of the first meetings of our Board of Trustees, they said we're going to focus on educating students for careers, agriculture and engineering and science. And that continues to this day.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, I think that's most of the myths I have. April, do you have any more myths you want to check out?
Did you talk about the one, no building can be taller than university?
We touched on that one.
Yeah.
I would mention one more thing that I
Sure.
learned from talking to people. The chocolate shop was never a speakeasy. I'm sorry to tell you, it was a chocolate shop when it opened in 1919, and it remained that way until the end of Prohibition. And at the end of Prohibition, the owner moved a bar he had just opened in another location over to the chocolate shop. He was getting too much competition from the chocolate shop Happy's in the Union, and he wasn't making money, so he switched from chocolate to alcohol.
That was a little after your time, of course.
Right.
A little. Okay. Well, I did want to mention as we wrap this up that, of course, this is John Norberg, well-known speaker and author. If you're interested in having John and John Purdue come to maybe one of your classrooms or one of your club meetings or a civic event in your home community, John's available to do that. You can reach him at norbergj@purdue.edu. In fact, I want to plug John's book. John's just written a book, Ever Purdue, Ever True, 150 years. It's available through the University Press. Very popular right now as we're wrapping up our 150th year celebration. And if you're more interested in John Purdue himself, Midas of the Wabash is available at the local library. It's written by Bob Kriebel, who is the manager and editor of the local newspaper. Just a very thorough documentation of John Purdue. And John Purdue, aka John Norberg, is getting a lot of play, I can tell you, this fall, doing a lot of events, doing a great job bringing him back to history. What a great way to convey John Purdue and the history of this great university. Anything else, John?
I would just mention I can also be reached at jbnorberg@purdue.edu.
Okay, two of them going there. So that's it for this time around. On behalf of April, hail Purdue.